The free agent fever continues, and Dwyane Wade is the latest man to make headlines. He has agreed to a one-year, $20 million contract, according to multiple media reports. Heading into his 13th season, Sekou opted out of a $16 million deal and eventually made himself more than $3 million on next season.
Yeah, it's another situation where Dwyane Wade is putting the Miami Heat organization first. Once again, he does what they need him to do to make everything else work.
Here's in part a message Wade sent out to his fans. It has been an honor and a privilege to play with the Miami Heat the past 12 years. The Heat family and I have shared incredible moments over the years, and I look forward to continuing our journey. Wade continued, Miami has always been my city and my home. I'm overwhelmed with the love and the support the Miami community have consistently shown me and my family throughout the years. Well, let's get a lot more on this situation as we head to South Florida. And we're joined by Ethan Skolnick from Bleacher Report, who's been all over this story. So, Ethan, we talked about the lack of leverage Dwyane Wade had, but Miami didn't want to go into the luxury tax. Eventually, how did this deal get done?
Well, look, they are going to go into the luxury tax anyway, I think, unless they clear out additional players. But they were able to get Dragic to take a little bit less than the max, and Dwyane ends up taking less than the max this year. He could have gotten about $3 million more than he ultimately got. So I think this is a compromise situation here. And here's the other thing. Look, Dwyane wants security. There's no question about that. I'd heard he wanted to play as much as 4 more years. But the thing about it is, to do a 4-year deal now, one is it would have cut into the flexibility of the Heat next summer. And also, I also know one of Dwyane's goals was to be, relatively close at least to the highest paid guy on the team. And he's not going to be the highest paid guy because Chris Bosh makes 22. But at least at the moment, he would be second highest paid. He gets a nice round number in 20. He gets a raise. He gets some of the money back that he gave up last summer. And so, look, this was a situation that was very toxic about a month ago. And it looked like it could trend, in the direction where Dwyane will be out of Miami. But over the past couple of days, the tone has been much more positive. I know that a meeting that he had with Mickey Harrison went well. And then, this was just a matter of time at that point. Mickey left for Europe. Pat Riley got on a plane for Los Angeles. More on that probably in a second. And obviously Dwyane went to the Bahamas to spend some time with Chris Paul and LeBron and Carmelo. So I think that we knew what was going to happen. It was just a question of which day this week, ultimately, this was going to get done.
Well, you can read into the future, Ethan. Let's find out. Why is Pat Riley heading to L.A. to meet with LeMarcus Aldridge? Does he think he has a shot?
Well, look, it's funny. I should never doubt Riley because I was told this morning that he was on a flight to L.A. and told by somebody, well, he's going on vacation or going to his house in Malibu. No, Pat Riley doesn't vacation at this point of the year. He is meeting with LeMarcus Aldridge this evening. Does he have a shot? I mean, I think the odds are certainly against him in terms of, first thing, the Spurs are a very attractive destination. The Suns have obviously been very aggressive. There's still the pull of going back to Portland. And at the moment, Miami does not have the cap space. They would have to do a couple of different things. One is they would have to probably dump some contracts on someone else. And that would probably mean someone from the list, probably a couple of these guys at least, from Mario Chalmers, Josh McRoberts, Chris Anderson, maybe even Luol Deng, although that might not be necessary, to be able to create the space to have a slot for Aldridge. The other option is they could do a sign and trade with Portland, but that's pretty tricky. And, if you're Portland, you would probably ask for at least Hassan Whiteside, I would think, or maybe Justice Winslow. So, again, I think it's a long shot, but the thing about Pat Riley is when he gets in a room with somebody, you never know what's going to happen. He may present a plan that Aldridge finds appealing. And remember, it's an easier path in the East. I mean, if Aldridge is going to stay in the West, that's a tougher road to go. But I think that this is pretty much informational. This is the only time that executives or coaches from a team get to talk to players from other teams, get to find out a little what they're about, get to plan for the future. So I think my hunch on this is as much informational as it is actually trying to bring LeMarcus Aldridge in, but we'll see.
Ethan Skolnick from Bleacher Report on the case as always for us here on NBA TV. Thanks so much, Ethan.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, Sekou, the Heat back in the spotlight.
Yeah, once again, Pat Riley has made it clear that he's not going to go away after losing LeBron James last summer in free agency. He's going to keep trying to find ways to retool this roster and put the Heat in a position where they can compete for a championship. I'm not sure about the second part of this. The Dwyane Wade piece is something that I think we all saw coming. One way or another, they're going to keep Dwyane Wade in the fold. The one-year deal, that's interesting because that's really a great flexibility for Dwyane Wade as well as the Miami Heat. I just don't know if the LeMarcus Aldridge piece fits. You'd have to, get rid of so many different contracts or one big one. And you're not going to trade Chris Bosh, I would imagine, now, coming off of his health issues this past season. You got to see what he can do in the fall when they get this whole team together and in a full training camp.
We had heard that Wade was kind of sick and tired of compromising, but ultimately he had to give in on the years.
Yeah, and it's what he's always done, as I mentioned earlier. Dwyane Wade has always put the Miami Heat organization first and the chance to win and win big first. This is him once again, as Ethan said, taking a little bit less, taking just 1 year instead of multiple years to give the Heat a chance to compete right now. And that's why they talk about Wade County down there. That's why he's the face of that franchise and the guy who's going to be remembered as the guy who gave up a ton to make sure they had a chance to compete for the Larry O'Brien trophies year after year.
He's missed 48 games over the last 2 years. Wade last season in the games he did play averaged 21.5 points.